Good morning, Nashville. It has been a long time since we've truly have given you an update of what's been happening in the city. There's been so much that's happened in the month of July, but I'm not in Nashville, as you can see behind me. There's some beautiful mountains behind me. There's also a really small town called Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So this is an update. We are going to be talking about some things that have happened in the city of Nashville over the last 20 days or so, because it's been a while since we've actually have had information about Nashville. We did our day trip series, which did really well, and then we've had a few interviews. So we're going to give you a few updates, and then we're also going to talk about how to travel throughout Tennessee, because Aaron and I do that quite often. We're literally here in Gatlinburg. There's Mount LeConte behind me, and next week we're going all the way to Reelfoot Lake. So we are traveling throughout the state of Tennessee this entire week. But let's get into some of the updates on the city of Nashville. It feels like over the last 3 weeks, there's been over 15 or so announcements related to food. This is a few of them that come to mind is Crema is now expanding down to Williamson County, which is really interesting because rumor had it for a long time that Crema was going to expand to Dickerson Pike. So I don't know exactly where in Williamson County they're expanding to, but that is some restaurant news that's happening. Another piece of restaurant news is A. Marshall Hospitality Group is opening their 8th location of Puckett's over in Hendersonville, which is super cool. Tailgate Brewery is about to open their tap room in Hendersonville. So we're seeing a lot of restaurants expanding throughout the county. Tailgate Brewery also announced that they're opening towards Century Farms. Speaking of Century Farms, you have Prince's Hot Chicken going there. You have Red Bicycle going there. So a lot of other staples of Nashville are now moving to other parts of the county. Another restaurant piece of news that we have, let me double check my phone, make sure I'm doing this right. Harper's, that new steakhouse that's located in the South Bank. That's going to be opening sometime this month in August. There's a new Italian restaurant opening in August. That's just a few of the restaurant announcements. Nashville's in a really interesting place. We did an episode last week with a food entrepreneur, and we talked about how Nashville is a place that's become this mecca of diverse food. So let us know in the comments, what's your favorite restaurants in Nashville? Some other updates that we have regarding Nashville is if you've ever seen a game of arena football, well, that's coming back to Nashville. Not really sure what arena they're going to be playing in. I don't know if they're going to be playing in Bridgestone Arena or over at the Lipscomb Arena, the little basketball court there. It'll be interesting if they played at the Vanderbilt Arena. They may fall off the floor and break their legs. I actually don't think that's wide enough to do arena football. Let me know also in the comments, because I don't know much about arena football. I've seen one game in my entire life, and it was interesting. It's like a smaller scale football game. I think it's like 50 yards instead of 100 yards, so I'm not really sure. Another announcement, this one's really interesting. There may be a judge hearing coming soon regarding the airport authority in the city of Nashville. Aaron and I a couple weeks ago did an episode how the city of Nashville and the state of Tennessee is at odds about the airport authority. A judge has been hearing this case recently, so we may have news. But what's really fascinating about this topic in general is the airport authority that's elected, or not elected, but that's brought in by the mayor is operating, and then the airport authority that's brought in by the state and the mayor is operating at the same time. So there's conflict at the airport. Speaking of the airport, the Hilton is fully topped out. The Hilton on the airport is fully topped out. The crane is gone, so it's only a matter of time before the airport hotel opens. I've been renting a lot of cars there recently, and it's as clear as possible. You just go rent the car, and it's fantastic. So the systems have worked with what they've built. Another announcement that I have, this is research from the Nashville Chamber of Commerce. On average, 98 people a day are moving to the Metro Nashville statistical area, which brings our numbers. We haven't had this type of number since 2016. 2016 was when New York Times said we were the IT city. So we're seeing numbers that we saw in 2016. On average, for an unemployed person in the city of Nashville, this is research from the Nashville Chamber of Commerce, on average for one unemployed person, there's 2 jobs available. which means our market is fantastic. We're doing really well. Also, according to the research arm of the Nashville Chamber of Commerce, we're technically in the top 10 cities now for growth in the United States. So it's only a matter of time before we reach that true destination. Right now, we're ranked 25th in the country. But let's go talk about Gatlinburg and how to travel throughout the state of Tennessee. So what's fascinating is we were here about a month ago for the opening of Buc-ee's in Sevierville. And that Buc-ee's was amazing. But the last time we were here, there was not this much names on this sign. So it's interesting to see how things can change in about 3.5 or 4 weeks. Gatlinburg is a small town, but it's one of the most famous destinations in the country right now. Behind me, if you go up into Mount LeConte and into the mountains, that is the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which is the most visited national park in the United States. On average, about 12 to 14 million people visit the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. So let's get to the topic of traveling through the state of Tennessee. Nashville is a great hub if that is your primary location, but there's also a lot of other great hubs. Chattanooga is a great hub, Jackson's a great hub, Franklin, Tennessee is a great hub. Now let's get into the topics of actually traveling. So you have East Tennessee, you have Middle Tennessee, and you have West Tennessee. East Tennessee is where I currently am. Just on the other side of these mountains is North Carolina, and at one point Tennessee was North Carolina territory. Then you have Middle Tennessee, that's where you have all of the rolling beautiful hills. And then in West Tennessee you have the Delta Flats. So there's some major cities in East Tennessee. There's Knoxville, there's Chattanooga. Middle Tennessee, there's Nashville, Murfreesboro, Franklin, Clarksville, a few other towns. In West Tennessee, you have Jackson, then you have Memphis. And then all of the other towns in West Tennessee are very small. So Memphis is the second largest city in the state of Tennessee. So there's a lot of information there. Now, how to manage traveling? Well, you can do a few things. You can go to different Tennessee state parks. You can go work your way through the distilleries of Tennessee. We were out the other day, we were at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, which is located in Petros, Tennessee, not Petros, Tennessee. So get that right, because I get it wrong all the time. But that is, it's an amazing old penitentiary that's located in the mountains. And they have a distillery, but I do not think they're on the Tennessee passport. Speaking of the Tennessee passport, you may be wondering what that is. Well, it's a journey through the distilleries of Tennessee. Right now, I believe there's 26 different distilleries like Jack Daniel's, Nelson's Greenbrier, Leaper's Fork Distilling Co., a few other ones found throughout the state. Company Distilling, which they have a location in Middle Tennessee, but they also have a location in Townsend, Tennessee, which Townsend is on the other side of these mountains, south of Gatlinburg. So there's that. There's the beautiful Tennessee State Park system. There's 57 state parks in the state of Tennessee, from Fall Creek Falls to a place that Aaron and I went to for the first time yesterday. And this was Seven Islands Bird Landing Park. I always get the name wrong. It's a really interesting park. There's a lot of birds that migrate there. It's pretty because it's on the French Broad River, I believe is the name of it. Speaking of rivers, there's 31 rivers in the state of Tennessee. You have the Tennessee River, you have the Cumberland River. You have so many water activities here in the state of Tennessee. So that's another really good way to travel throughout the state of Tennessee. But another great way to travel throughout the state of Tennessee is doing a hot chicken experience. And basically you can only get that in Middle Tennessee. East Tennessee is really known, especially the Gatlinburg area, is really known for their pancakes. That's a very unique thing here. Middle Tennessee is really known for their hot chicken. West Tennessee is known for their Memphis style barbecue. So you literally can drive your way through the entire state, and you could spend so much time in small towns found within the state of Tennessee. So comment below, what's your favorite part of Tennessee, plus what's your favorite town and your favorite restaurant. Well, this is the Nashville Daily Podcast. We will be getting back to our regular episodes tomorrow. We'll see you then.